Find the value of x. In this equation, we have to solve for x. Before we start solving for x in this equation, let's understand how to evaluate a factor of a number. Let me consider 5 factorial. Now, to evaluate 5 factorial, we have to multiply 5 and every positive integer less than it up to 1. That is 5 times, 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, 1. Okay, now to evaluate 5 factorial, we write the integers from 5 to 1 and multiply all of them. Instead of writing up to 1, if I stop anywhere in the middle, for example, if I stop at 3, there I have to put factorial. Okay, now let's come to the equation we have over here. Let me write the stuff in numerator as it is. That is x negative 1 factorial times x negative 2 factorial divided by, here we have x factorial. To evaluate x factorial, what we need to do is we have to write x and every positive integer less than x up to 1, and we have to multiply them all. Okay, already we have an x. The next one has to be 1 less than this number, that is x negative 1. The next one is 1 less than this one, that is x negative 2, then x negative 3. In this way, I have to keep writing up to 1. Okay, instead of writing up to 1, if I stop anywhere in the middle, I have to put factorial. Here, I'm going to stop at x negative 1, so I have to put factor over here, like what I've done over here. So why I stop at x negative 1? What's the reason? Because we have x negative 1 factor over here, so this one will cancel out. On the right side, we have 1 over 2. Okay, now we have x negative 2 factorial divided by x equals to 1 over 2. Now let's do cross multiplication. That is, this numerator has to be multiplied by this denominator. Then we have 2 times x negative 2 factorial. Okay, here this numerator 1 has to be multiplied by this denominator. 1 times x is x. Okay, now we got the equation over here, and let's consider the factorials we have in the original equation: x negative 1 factorial, x negative 2 factorial, x factorial. Okay, in mathematics, a factorial can be taken only with whole numbers. We know that whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3. These are all whole numbers. Okay, here, if I want this one has to be a whole number, x has to be 1 or greater than 1. Because if I take x equals to 0, it will become 0, negative 1. Then we have a negative number. So we cannot take factorial with a negative number. So in this one, if I want this x negative 1 has to be a whole number, then x has to be greater than or equal to 1. Okay, now let's consider this one. In this one, if I want this x negative 2 has to be a whole number, then x has to be greater than or equal to 2. Because when I plug in 2 for x over here, 2 negative 2, 0, 0 factorial is possible. And when I consider any whole number for x greater than 2, always will be getting a whole number over here. Like when I plug in x equals to 3, 3 negative 2 is 1, that is 1 factorial. Okay, now let's consider this one. For this one, if I want x has to be a whole number, then x has to be greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now we have 3 conditions. For this one, we have x is greater than or equal to 1, and in all the 3 conditions, x is a whole number. Okay, when I take this condition over here, what will happen? That is, x can be equal to 1 or x is greater than 1. Since x can be equal to 1, when I plug in x equals 1 over here, it becomes a negative number. That's not possible. So the condition we have over here is not applicable for this factorial, so we can reject this one. Now let's consider this one. X is greater than or equal to 0. That is, x can be equal to 0 or x can be any whole number greater than 0. Okay, when I consider 0 for x over here, it will be 0, negative 2. That is negative 2 factorial. That's not possible. So we can reject this one as well. And also, shall we consider this one in this factorial and this factorial? Yes, let's consider the minimum value of x is 2. That is, x can be equal to 2 or any whole number greater than 2. When I plug in the minimum value 2 for x over here, 2 negative 1 is just 1. The 1 factorial is possible. And when I plug in the minimum value of x of this inequality over here, it will be 2 factorial. That is also possible. Okay, so we get the condition, that is, x has to be greater than or equal to 2 and x has to be a whole number. Because we have factorial over here, here, and here. Okay, now let's consider the first whole number in this inequality, that is 2. When I take x equals to 2, let's check whether this equation is satisfied or not. Let me plug in 2 for x in this equation. Then I'm getting 2 times 2 negative 2 factorial equals to 2. Okay, let's do some simplification. 2 times 2 negative 2 is 0. That is, we have 0 factorial equals to 2. We know that the value of 0 factorial is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Then we get 2 equals to 2. So when x equals to 2, the equation over here is satisfied. So this x equals to 2 can be one of the solutions for the given equation. Okay, now let's consider the whole number which is greater than 2. That is, x equals to 3. Okay, let me plug in 3 in this equation and check whether this equation is satisfied for x equals to 3. Then we have 2 times 3 negative 2 factorial equals to, on the right side for x, we have to plug in 3. Then we get 2 times 3 negative 2 factorial is just 1 factorial equals to 3. Then 1 factor is just 1. 1 times 2 is 2. 2 equals to 3. So this is false. So x equals to 3 cannot be a solution for the given equation. We can reject this one. Okay, now let's consider the next whole number in this inequality, that is x equals to 4. Let me plug in 4 for x in this equation. Then I'm getting 2 times 4 negative 2 factorial equals to 4 equals 2 times 4 negative 2 is just 2. That is we get 2 factorial equals to 4. Okay, the value of 2 factorial is just 2. 2 times 2 is 1. That is 2 factorial can be written as 2 times 1, which is equal to 2. Okay, so the value of 2 factorial is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Then we get 4 equals to 4. It's true. So x equals to 4 can be a solution to this equation. Already we got that x equals to 2 is one of the solutions for the given equation. I got one more solution for the given equation, that is x equals to 4. Okay, now let's get another whole number for x in this inequality, that is x equals to 5. Let me plug in 5 for x over here in this inequality. Then we get 2 times 5 negative 2 the factorial equals to 5. Then we get 2 times 3 factorial. 5 negative 2 is 3 factorial equals to 5. Okay, now let's evaluate the value of 3 factorial. 3 factorial equals to, we have to multiply 3 and every positive integer less than 3 up to 1. That is 3 times 2 times 1, which is equal to 6. So the value of 3 factorial is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Then we get 12 equals to 5. This is false. So x equals to 5 cannot be a solution for the given equation. Okay, so here when I consider a whole number for x that greater than or equal to 2, there are many whole numbers. So far we just checked with 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, is there any chance to get a whole number greater than 5 which will satisfy this equation? No. How can I be sure? Because when I take a value, a whole number for x greater than 5, the factorial on the left side will grow much faster than the linear term x on the right side. So we will not be getting equal values on the left side and right side. So any whole number for x greater than 5 will not satisfy this equation. So there are two solutions for the given equation. One is x equals to 2 and the other one is x equals to 4.